Steve. You've had a lot of experience working in organisations and particularly sporting clubs in really developing culture. This is kind of your area of expertise. I'm just interested, in the recent situation that's happened with the Australian cricket team. What's your insights into what has actually happened and the culture of that?
Well, very topical question, seeing we're on the subject of culture. But look, leaders lead culture. And what is culture? So culture is the attitudes, the beliefs, the self-awareness around behaviours. So, positive behaviours, behaviours which create, solutions within organisations. So not negative, but when you come to sport, of course you're trying to develop belief systems which create self-confidence, self-esteem, positivity, because it's about obviously winning a game or a match or whatever it might be. It's only when the leadership does not have any clear self-reflective boundaries around where that begins and ends. So in this context, say for an organisational point of view, you look at a CEO is in charge of a whole organisation, doesn't matter how big it is. So the culture is set by the ultimate leader. So in this case, we're talking about the Australian cricket team, which is perceived as being the captain or the coach. Well, no, it begins with the CEO creating and influencing and educating. So you've got young men coming into a situation. And this comes back to the definition of what we call skill-based learning and cultural attitude beliefs-based learning, the inner stuff, the self-awareness, the mindfulness. So when you've got just promotion of people based on skills or success, like, for example, you're a very good cricketer or a very good footballer, doesn't mean you're a very good leader. In fact, you could be leading the wrong values and beliefs if you haven't been developed. Now that's not the responsibility of just the individual or even the coach. That's the responsibility of the organisation. So, what is the culture that the CEO wants to create? So, what is the culture that Steve Smith inherited? What is the culture that the coach imbibes? Is it a winning at all costs? Now, if it's a person that, values success at all costs, then you end up with behaviours that are not really cognizant with what the overall society or even what is believed to be there, which is actually not. So did Steve Smith inherit those characteristics? Were they part of his on-site training? Probably. This is not a problem that's come up, yesterday. It's probably something that's been permitted to go on for a long while, and that's been the culture that he stepped into. So, you quarter and hang Steve Smith. Well, yes, no, yes, he's done the wrong thing. We all make mistakes. But really where and who is responsible for his development and his learning as a leader along with others.
And as a leader, I guess, leads the culture, develops the culture, what are some essential qualities or traits in a leader to create a positive culture?
Well, it's, really developing a whole person. It's self-confidence is not just ego. Ego might be about always creating success. Self-awareness and self-confidence is having that, but it's not at an all, it's at, crossing the lines that now have been crossed. So it's the ability to develop a team that has a voice, that you don't shoot the messenger. In fact, you encourage the messenger. So, if you've got a younger player that's asked to do something like in this situation with Steve Smith or whoever else was involved in that, instead of them, going, yes, I'll do that because I want to continue to be picked or be part of the team, they go, hang on a sec, why, I'm not going to do that. I mean, that's crossing the line. But if you've got a culture where people are frightened to, really voice their opinion or go up against others, then, that's not helpful. So you've got to create a culture that's got really openness, you know, the ability to develop individuals within that group that are willing to speak their mind. And, you know, there is a real level of authenticity. You're evolving humility, you're evolving the other qualities of human nature, which, yes, I want to win, but I'm not going to do it at cost to my own, you know, personality or my own integrity or my own self.